The Gildan, New Mexico Bowl is more than a decade of incredible moments on the field. Since 2006, countless memories with family and friends, contributions, donations, and smiles. Working with New Mexico nonprofits, thousands of football fans, visiting the land of enchantment, contributing to our state's economy and image. Colorado State and Marshall kick off the Gildan, New Mexico Bowl at 2:30 Saturday, December 16th in Dream Style Stadium. Visit GildanNewMexicoBowl.com or call 505-925-5999. The Gildan, New Mexico Bowl, here for good.
Doesn't get any better than this.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. We have Jeff Siembieda here today, the executive director of Gildan, New Mexico Bowl. And I didn't blow that this year. Usually, every year I usually blow that. So I did.
Galetti's the one. I got to remind him, and then he says, "Did I not say that? Did I only say New Mexico Bowl?" Yeah.
But I tell you, this is 12 years.
You ready for
that? It just seemed like it just goes by so quick. It just seemed like we were sitting here just.
Because we're getting older, Steve. Time runs when we're getting. I'm getting older. You're not, but time flies when we get older.
It does, and tell you what, this is another exciting week for you.
Yeah, it is.
Or actually, the state of New Mexico and Albuquerque.
Yeah, I think so. And first off, thanks for having me. I love being here every year. I can't believe we've been doing this for so many years, and the weather's going to be. I mean, they're telling me the weather's going to be great. It doesn't feel like game week, does it? Outside, 50-something degree weather, and it's nice, but. I'm excited. It's good for our state. It's good for our city. It's good for our community. And we got two fan bases that I think are pretty excited to be here. So
tell you what, Marshall, and of course everybody knows the movie, it seems like, and then to get to see them, and I was kind of doing research in myself. I was like, I've always heard about Marshall, but it's actually in West Virginia. I mean, I was like,
you didn't know that?
I really didn't. I knew it was. I knew it was.
Back there somewhere.
I thought it was in Pennsylvania. Truthfully, where I thought it was in Pennsylvania, but then I did a little research on it.
It's a unique fan base. It's a unique. I mean, the movie certainly branded that school one way or the other, and it's a incredibly passionate fan base about around that athletic department because of what the tragedy, partially because of the tragedy that they went through, and then they've had insane success. And if you think of the group of 5 schools, right, the non-power conference schools, I think in football you think Boise State. But after Boise State, I think we've got 2 of the better brands, maybe 2 of the best brands in Group of 5 football. Colorado State's been bowling for 5 years straight. Marshall's got the longest current bowl winning streak. They've won 5 in a row. Marshall's 10-2 in NCAA sanctioned bowls. They've won 10 of 11. This is a big deal, and the postseason's big. Marshall had a down season last year. They had a 3-win season, but the 3 years before that, they won double digits. They were ranked in 2014. When you start to think of what it takes for a group of 5 school to win 10, 11 games 3 years in a row, it doesn't happen very often. Boise State was doing it. San Diego State's doing it right now, and Marshall. It's a pretty good brand, a pretty good program, and you're gonna like what Doc Holliday brings.
Well, and then the conference itself, 9 bowl in the USA conference, so it's a very competitive conference. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Conference USA was interesting this year, and in some respects, that's why we ended up with Marshall. They had 10 teams bowl eligible. 9 of them are going to a bowl. The only one that was left out was UTSA, who certainly wanted to come back. And I love what UTSA is doing with their program. But you look at Florida Atlantic and what Lane Kiffin did there, and it's become a national story. And North Texas played in the conference championship game 2 years ago. North Texas was a 1-win team. Now they're 8-4, 8-5 now playing in the championship game. Southern Miss was 8-4. Marshall was a 7-win team. I mean, we've got really competitive football and 10 teams that were bowl eligible, 9 of which are going to games. And so, Selection Sunday came around, and we're looking like, where is this going to go? And I know we always think regional, but as we put the game together, and Colorado State was sitting on the Mountain West side, and we wanted Colorado State. That's what we wanted. How do we put this thing together? And Marshall was right. Marshall's one of the best defenses in America, the second best overall defense and number 1 rushing defense in Conference USA. Colorado State's one of the best offenses in America. They bring, statistically, you can argue the best receiver in America, a guy, Michael Gallup, who's going to play on Sundays. They've got the first-team All-Mountain West Conference quarterback, 2 first-team linemen. We got a classic offense versus defense battle, and 2 teams that, Steve, they were so close. Marshall started 6-1. They lose to Florida Atlantic, who won their league by 5. They lose by 2 to UTSA, and they lost by a point on a missed extra point to Southern Miss. They're 8 points away from being a 10-win team. And then Boise State gets the onside kick to beat Colorado State. Colorado State could beat Boise State. They lose by 3 in the snow in Laramie. I mean, they're real close to being a 9-10 win team too.
Well, Jeff, let's kind of go over the highlights of that press conference a week or so ago, and kind of let people see what the coaches look like and how they talk, and how great of a presence you had.
Well, that wasn't about me. Now, no, it's I don't know if you have highlights of a press conference, but it was a nice opportunity to bring both coaches to town, both athletic directors.
Well, John.
Welcome to bowl season, boys and girls, and welcome to the 12th annual Gildan, New Mexico Bowl. The matchup's great, the partnerships are great, and I want to say a few thank yous off the top. First of all, thank you to Intralot for hosting the Intralot team announcement, luncheon, and press conference. The game features 2 teams that you're going to like. Colorado State is 7-5 and 5-3 in the Mountain West. They beat Oregon State to open up the season. The energy around Colorado State's campus and program this year has been tangible. Marshall, tremendous. 7-5, 4-4 in Conference USA. They've had tremendous success at Marshall. Marshall has won. It is the longest active bowl winning streak in Football Bowl Association. Marshall has won their last 5 bowl games. They have won 10 of their last 11 bowl games. They are 10-2 in the history of the program in NCAA sanctioned bowl games. Postseason means a lot to Marshall.
Hey, it's great. It's great to be here. And I just want to say on behalf of Marshall University, I want to thank Jeff and the Gildan New Mexico Bowl for the invitation. Our fans are super excited. I know our team's excited, and we are really looking forward to next week.
An incredible athletic director. Please welcome from Colorado State University, Joe Parker.
Thank you, Jeff. I'd like to reiterate some of the things that David had said earlier. It's just thrilling for us to be a part of this, and we also understand just the level of commitment that comes from a community to make sure that these events of this magnitude come off. And so I applaud everyone in the room that's played a role in making this possible. Our team, our university, our athletics department is thrilled to be a part of it. The culture building within our department, where it's becoming the expectation for all of our programs that we find opportunities to end up in the postseason.
The coaches are tremendous, and the background, the lineage, and what they're doing with their student athletes is great. Doc Holliday's in his 8th year with a 60-42 record. He's 4-0 in bowl games, going to his 5th bowl game with Marshall. He's the head football coach at Marshall University. Please welcome Doc Holliday.
Thanks, Jeff. Just real quick, on behalf of Mike Hamrick, our president, Gilbert, we'd like to thank you all for inviting us here. We enjoy it. It's a tremendous honor to be here. I've got great respect for Colorado State. Mike and I go way back. I remember he was at Georgia and I was at Florida. We had some battles there in the cocktail party, but got great respect for what he's done. He's been very successful wherever he's been. There's not a program in America that means more to their fan base, more to the community, more to their school, what Marshall University does. Some of you have probably seen that movie. There's a lot of truth to that. That community embraces our program. Our program, as the head football coach there, understand how important our football program is to our community, what it means to our school and our fan base and our state. So we work extremely hard to get that done.
He's the only coach in the history of Colorado State University to go to bowls in his first 3 seasons. In fact, the first 2. He's going to bring his team to Dream Style Stadium on Saturday of next week. He's Colorado State's head football coach, Mike Bobo.
Thank you. I know you said you want to get something to eat there, Jeff, when it's done, but I'm gonna get seconds. That food was excellent, so don't put it up after I got my press conference. But we're excited to be here for Gildan and the Mexico Bowl, the invitation. Excited to play Marshall. Have a lot of respect for coach, have known him a long time. Our players are excited because it is the first bowl game on ESPN, on national TV, a chance to go out and represent our university, Colorado State.
This matchup is terrific, you guys. This game is going to be great. Look forward to seeing you all next week and at all of our events. But thank you so much for your support and for being here. Have fun today.
The Gildan, New Mexico Bowl is more than a decade of incredible moments on the field. Since 2006, countless memories with family and friends, contributions, donations, and smiles, working with New Mexico nonprofits, thousands of football fans, visiting the land of enchantment, contributing to our state's economy and image. Colorado State and Marshall kick off the Gildan, New Mexico Bowl at 2:30 Saturday, December 16th in Dream Style Stadium. Visit GildanNewMexicoBowl.com or call 505-925-5999. The Gildan, New Mexico Bowl, here for good.
Doesn't get any better than this.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Jeff Siembieda, Executive Director of the Gildan, New Mexico Bowl, and you know, some interesting coaches. I mean, we got to hear them, but interesting names: Doc Holliday and
Mike Bobo.
Mike Bobo. I mean, so just the two names, kind of rings a bell with
good characters. Yeah, good characters. They go back to they were both assistants to the SEC. One was at Florida, one was at Georgia. Both have done a tremendous job with their programs, and we've been real fortunate, Steve. It's two coaches and programs who want to be here, and we've been doing this this is now 12 years, and I don't know. Well, I know we've never had a team that doesn't want to be here. No, that's not right. I think the first time Arizona was here, they didn't want to be here. But by the time they left,
when they left, you won them over with your kindness.
Yeah, but I think they didn't know. So they were the first Pac-12 team we had. I think it was a little bit of the unknown. What are we getting into? And once they left, I mean, you saw 3 years later they came back. They wanted to be back. Rich Rodriguez wanted to be back in this game. So we're fortunate in a place where we got enthusiastic people who want to be here. The kids from Marshall, many of them have never been west of the Mississippi, let alone, or maybe just to play UTEP, but never been to New Mexico. They're excited. They can't wait to get here, and I'm looking forward to seeing them get off the plane and see the mountains and the blue skies and the mariachi bands, and I'm fired up. And Colorado State wants to be here because they've had such a great experience the other two times they've been here, and they haven't been here in 4 or 5 years. And so I think there's some seniors who are redshirt freshmen on the team that beat Washington State. But you can see from their coaches that they want to be here, and it's exciting. Look, everybody wants to go to the Rose Bowl, everybody wants to go to the Fiesta Bowl. But if you could now play on that first day and be done and go home for Christmas, and it's a pretty special thing for them.
Well, I'll tell you what, just reminisce from last year. I mean, a cold day, but a very enthusiastic crowd, and it astonished me how many people did come out and support it. But, so we'll just bring that up, Josh.
What do we have? Just south of 30,000, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what's cool about these videos is it shows some of the stuff that goes on throughout the week, and flyovers, and just the teams, but what they do all week, and that's what makes this different than just another game, is the experience throughout the week, and everybody gets to have some fun with it. And I think by about Friday afternoon, right after lunch, and they lock in.
You're seeing some highlights here. This, of course, New Mexico, and this was an entertaining game. I mean, and talk about the entertaining games we've had over the last. I mean, some of them just come down to the last second. Games teams down 2 touchdowns and win in the last 3 minutes. I mean, I'm just going through the whole history.
Colorado State knows all that. Look at that crowd. That's something. It was such a special day. And when we got out there, I mean, it was cold now. It was raining sideways in the morning, and God, it just looks fun. This onside, and this one came down to that too, right? If UTSA gets that onside kick there, then they got a chance to go do something. But the games have been great. This was a 3-point game. Colorado State came back and scored 15 points in the last 2 minutes. to beat Washington State last time they were here. The Arizona-Nevada game was tremendous. The first time Colorado State was here, Gartrell Johnson ran for 285 yards, all-purpose yards. Just as a double-digit underdog, Colorado State beat Fresno State that day. And then the next year, Fresno State came in and went to double overtime and stopped Ryan Matthews at the goal line 4 times in overtime. So we've had just insane games. And then that's kind of added to the lore. You know, when I sat here with you, Steve, what was it, the first time probably back in 2006, right? In 2007, we said, I wanted to make this a bit of a tradition. And tradition doesn't happen in a year or 2 years or 3 years, but I think over a decade.
Well, what you told me, you said it was a 10-year.
Yeah, no, I did.
You and I had the same,
Yes.
both of us said this is a 10-year process, and the vision, take your lumps and hits. And,
yeah, that's right.
And now it's, what's neat to hear you. One, it's most relaxed I've seen you in 12 years, all right? Last year you did a really good job. I thought you were really good, but this year it was like, plus you've got, you got a supporting cast at your office that, you might want to thank those guys.
I'm the supporting cast. They're the ones who do everything. If you come by our office, we have a machine, and it's amazing. Kerry Colbert's been with me for 12 years. He and I started the same day at ESPN. He runs our game. He's our operations manager, and there's nobody better in the business than what he does. And then Rayanne McKernan is with us full time, does everything from run our office to all our media relations to sponsorship fulfillment. And then we got people who come in. One gentleman came in from Houston today. Another gentleman came in from Pennsylvania earlier in the week. Another came in from Corpus area down in Texas. And then people just come in and fill their lanes. One person takes over and runs the luncheon, and another dealing with volunteers and bands, and another's dealing with deliveries and hotels. And I don't even have a staff meeting, Steve. Like normally you get a big event like this. You say, all right, let's everybody get together. Okay, you're doing this, and you have this, and everybody lets me know what I need to know. It's best sometimes that I don't know stuff until a year later. But we've got an unbelievable machine of people, and then our executive board and our partners, and that's why this thing's been here for 12 years. It's not me. Somebody's got to be the front person, and I guess I have the title, but I'm incredibly fortunate to have this team of just talent around us that's passionate about this.
The thing too is that you start after the bowl.
Yeah,
it's not like your group of people. It's like you kind of. What went right, what went wrong, how can we do this better, what can we bring into our, you're always looking around town for new places, new things, and bringing them, and that's what's so exciting. But it's similar to the state football tournament. You don't know who you're going to get until like 2 weeks, and then you're really, it's really like, focus. I try not to even. Right. I always leave a text or just say, "Hey, can you make it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day you can make it in."
I don't think people understand how much goes into an event like this, and I've said this to people. So I say, all right, how long did you plan your wedding? Oh my goodness, it was we planned it for 2 years. Was it a big wedding? Oh, it was huge. We had 125 people. Okay, it's a good sized wedding. We do a luncheon on Friday for 750 people as an ancillary event, right? We do all these events throughout the week. We did 125 people last week up at the Canyon Club for the clip you just saw, and then all the events that go into it. Hotels, hospitality, gifting, painting the field, vests, signage. Everything that you don't think of, and which is fun. That's part of running an event. This isn't a woe is me conversation. It's what goes into it, and that's all the little details. And I'm kind of what's the word? I'm a stickler on this stuff, and I know my staff probably doesn't like it, but I want it to be perfect. And well, that's okay. No, but okay is not good enough. We can't be okay. The reason we've been here 12 years isn't because we're okay, right? We're not the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl can do something, and they don't, but they can do something okay. We don't have that opportunity. We don't have that luxury. We've got to do things great. And I think we've gotten to that point where we do things really, really, really well. And the support we've got in this community and what we've been able to see over the years. And it's been the hospitality. It's our hospitality partners. It's the people who work around this event and have made this thing, I think, something pretty special, and realize how good we've got it. We're one of 30-something communities in America who have a bowl game.
Well, Jeff, we're going to come back. We're going to talk more about the events, more about things happening Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week.
5-yard line. Motion man, Caperton. He's gonna sling one deep. He's got Sosa. Sosa turns on the Jets. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cardinals.
At the Warrior 18-yard line. Ortiz looks to the left side, caught, touchdown, touchdown, 18-yard.
Play action, Caperton looking deep. He's got York all by himself. Terry York.
Ortiz on the quarterback read. Good block up the middle. First down a little bit more. Ortiz 40, 45, 50. One man to beat. RJ Ortiz is going to score for Las Vegas. Robertson.
Erickson's going to get it on a sweep. Erickson's got a ton of speed. Look out. Andrew Erickson shot out of a cannon. Touchdown.
Bowen takes the snap. He's going to keep it. Rolling out to the right side. Bowen making a beeline for the corner. Did he get in? Yes!
Second and goal on the 5-yard line. Brandon Stewart rolling to his right. Still rolling. Throws. Caught. Touchdown.
So first and 10 at a low snap, and Bird's going to quarterback keep it. It's a design play. Look out, Bird! He's loose! Jordan Bird down the sideline, and he's in. Touchdown.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. Well, Jeff, let us know what is going on this week.
Well, we got teams coming in on Wednesday morning, actually, and I think this will be the first time we got both teams that are going to practice on Wednesday. Usually they come in the afternoon, but they're going to both come in.
Most of them they come sometimes late at night.
Yeah,
I remember sometimes.
we've had untraveled ways, but both teams in Wednesday morning, they're both going to practice. We'll do the big welcome event at main event, do the gift suites at the hotel, and then on Thursday, we got something that's kind of cool. And this has never happened before. We're doing something with U.S. Bank, and Paul DePaulo is going to go out there and do a financial literacy seminar with the student athletes at the hotels on Thursday around their practice, which we sit around as bowl directors and we always talk about how, what kind of educational piece are we offering the student athlete. And we're going to do a financial literacy piece, and U.S. Bank's going to do that. Then they'll practice, and we've got team events all day Thursday, and then Friday the big luncheon out at Isleta, which has been a great partner of ours, and Ron Jaworski, the former Super Bowl quarterback, and you know him from ESPN. He will be our guest speaker, and then we'll go get out to FanFest. Get out to FanFest early, 2:30 kickoff, which is an extended kickoff. Means a lot more partying time and a lot of time to go out and have fun on Saturday afternoon. Also keep this in mind, the game ticket, we got a promotion with Ski New Mexico. If you ski, you can use the game ticket for a lift ticket at any Ski New Mexico resort for a week after game. So from the 17th through the 24th, you can use, and I know how expensive skiing is, so you can take your $40 game ticket or $25 game ticket and trade it in from the 17th to 24th for any Ski New Mexico resort. Also, it's good for the Rail Runner up and back to Santa Fe at the same time, 17th through the 24th. And Isleta's going to be giving out stadium blankets and cushions. They're kind of a 2-in-1 thing for the first 10,000 people.
Well, I'll tell you what, those blankets are nice. I got one last year.
Up at the Zia
Actually,
level.
it was being used.
That's the whole point.
Last year was used.
Yeah,
so.
I started doing that on the Zia level because it's cold up in Zia, so we give out blankets up there now too.
Well, I tell you, you know, we got Old Town. That's
the pep rally on Friday. I totally forgot about that.
I was trying to remember. Yeah.
Yeah, Friday afternoon at 4, which is free to the public and is a whole lot of fun down there. Yeah, that's a good one. Van Tate does that, and both bands, Battle of the Bands, cheer squads. That's a really nice event. Really nice event.
Well, we still got plenty of time here, so let's talk more in detail about some things. About how do we get tickets?
Well, you go to GildanNewMexicoBowl.com. Everything's available for you at we use the UNM ticket office. You can go 925-LOBO or GildanNewMexicoBowl.com, and we'll take care of you. We've had a great promotion with the lottery, which we just closed off this week. But you know, next year, think about this: if you play Powerball or play Mega. On the ticket, there's an offer and there's a code for a discounted ticket as well. So everything's available at GildanNewMexicoBowl.com or the UNM ticket office.
Isn't it amazing your partners that I mean, you go back. I go to those luncheons, go to the golf tournaments and things like that, but they've been with you from day one. I mean, it's amazing, and I can still remember the first. It's similar to kind of like Proview. Yeah. Some of the deal was like, oh, the West's going to be too cold. Who's going to really come to the?
If there's no Lobos.
Right. And then you took a little heat. I mean, not a little heat, but New Mexico State, and it was, you did a great job of letting people realize why New Mexico State couldn't come.
Yeah.
But that would have been a great venue.
And it will be when it happens. Here, and so a couple of things in there. What you just said.
It means that there's people that want to be here.
No, that's right. Well, there's a few things.
That's where I'm going with it.
So I think we've got to the point where we've created this thing where it doesn't matter who's coming. It's going to be a big party. People know it's going to be a good time, which is good. The New Mexico State piece was tough. Would we like New Mexico State here? Sure we would. And the significance of a 57-year bowl drought is not lost on me or anybody else. And I've got a great relationship with New Mexico State. I've called their football games for a lot of years.
Well, I know you actually, they're on the, if you listen to 610,
we've got
every
them
week.
On all the time.
Every week.
I don't think anybody's covered New Mexico State.
I even changed my driving time just where I could hear the coaches. So.
Well, I've been here 21 years, and I realize there's more New Mexico State alumni in this county than there are anywhere else, and people care. But it just couldn't happen this year. New Mexico State's in the Sun Belt Conference. We, as a bowl and with ESPN events, have a primary contract with Conference USA and Mountain West. And this year they filled plus. Mountain West had one extra team. Conference USA had 4 extra bowl teams. You've got to place your partners before you can start making deals.
So could you have picked another team from
Conference USA?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
I just caught on to that. So.
Yeah, but the New Mexico State piece, a couple things. First of all, the game in Tucson is a Sun Belt Bowl, right? What was in it for him? Like people say, well, you make deals all the time. Yeah, but deals have to be made from both sides. What's in it if you're running the game in Tucson, and you're Alan Young, who Alan's a friend of mine. I spent a weekend with him about a month ago up in Colorado. But if you're him and you're running a game in Tucson and you've got the Sun Belt and New Mexico State's there for you, what's your incentive? Why would you give them up? What's in it for you? And there's nothing there. So it didn't make sense. From his angle, I mean, we sit here and go, yeah, it makes total sense. Well, they've got to give that up. The other thing is New Mexico State had certainly want to push. They've got a basketball game the day of our bowl. They're playing in Chicago in the United Center against Illinois. It's the big Lou Henson night. And, I think that was probably a little piece of it, too. It was a little conflict with a big basketball event. So, you know what? Good for New Mexico State. I'm glad they're eligible. I'm a big Doug Martin fan. I think what they've done.
Yeah,
it's hard not to.
And you did such a great job coming out in the paper and explaining it.
I just want people to understand, this wasn't us saying we don't want New Mexico State. Of course we would.
That was further from that.
Right, of course we would. And I've said for years, I say this with all due respect, I said there's a lot of drunk Aggies in this state who want to party, and it's been 57 years, and I say that
in a good way,
in a great way. And I wanted to throw that party, maybe another year, and it didn't work. And I want people to understand that. It's and I'm glad they're going. I'm glad they're going to a game that's close, that's drivable for Aggie fans as well to get there. And I hope they go out and support what's going on down at the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl. But I think it's also going to show that our game stands on its own. I was asked the question, are you worried about getting overshadowed by the Aggies? And I'm not. Their game's 2 weeks after ours, and ours, I think ours has become a fixture now. I think I know people look forward to it and expect our game, and it's going to be 50-something degrees and sunny and beautiful, and we're going to put on a great show.
Well, Jeff, hey, thanks. This is 12 years straight,
thank you.
And thank you, and have a good week. You enjoy it, because it's something to be proud of.
Steve, I appreciate all your support, all your help. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, James.
The Gildan, New Mexico Bowl is more than a decade of incredible moments on the field. Since 2006, countless memories with family and friends, contributions, donations, and smiles. Working with New Mexico nonprofits, thousands of football fans visiting the land of enchantment, contributing to our state's economy and image. Colorado State and Marshall kick off the Gildan, New Mexico Bowl at 2:30 Saturday, December 16th in Dream Style Stadium. Visit GildanNewMexicoBowl.com or call 505-925-5999. The Gildan, New Mexico Bowl, here for good.
Doesn't get any better than this.